A girl was brought to the hospital with injuries and was unconscious. The nurses received her and took her straight to the emergency room. Then, one of the nurses followed the people who had brought her and told them to go to the reception and make a payment first, as hospital policy requires payment before treatment. They were very surprised. Pretended going to pay, they instead ran away. Later, the nurse went to the reception to check if they had paid so she could attend to the patient, but the receptionist informed her that they had left. The nurse then realized the girl had been abandoned and she couldn't treat her without payment. At that same moment, Dr. Disiola entered and greeted them. Another nurse approached him and said, "Doctor, there is a badly injured young lady who was brought in. Her condition is getting worse. Please come and check on her." Dr. Disiola went to the emergency room to examine the patient. After examining her, he discovered she had lost a lot of blood. He asked where the people who brought her were. The nurse replied, "They abandoned her. We haven't been able to treat her because payment hasn't been made." Dr. Disiola became very angry and said, "There are some procedures that, if delayed, can lead to a patient's death. Give this girl blood. I will cover the bill myself." 3 days later, the girl finally woke up. Dr. Disiola examined her and confirmed that she was stable. He then asked for her name, and she replied, "Niniola." He asked if she remembered what had happened before she lost consciousness. Niniola remembered everything. She was walking along the road, deep in thought, when suddenly she fainted and hit her head. Good Samaritans found her and brought her to the hospital. Despite remembering everything, she told Dr. Disiola that she didn't remember anything. Dr. Disiola didn't want to pressure her. He told her to rest and assured her they would monitor her for a few more days before discharging her. Niniola asked the doctor about the hospital bill, but he told her not to worry, though he didn't say he was the one paying it. Later, at home, Dr. Disiola was speaking with his girlfriend, Elena, who lives in another city. He explained everything about Niniola to her, and Elena was understanding and supportive. A few days later, Dr. Disiola informed Niniola that she would be discharged that day because she was recovering well. Niniola felt sad, but thanked the doctor sincerely. Dr. Disiola asked her if someone would be coming to pick her up. She replied, "No." The doctor then told her that throughout her stay at the hospital, no one had come to see her. He asked what was going on in her life. Niniola said it was a long story, but assured him she would be fine. Dr. Disiola then discharged her. That evening, after work, Dr. Disiola went to buy some fruit outside the hospital and, to his surprise, saw Niniola still there. He approached her and asked, "Why are you still here? You were discharged this morning." Niniola replied, "I have nowhere to go." Dr. Disiola wanted to know why, but Niniola said it was a long story. He then told her he would take her to stay at his home for a few days. Niniola agreed, and they went home together. Once they arrived at his house, he showed her to a room, and she thanked him deeply. The next day, Dr. Disiola received a call from his mother, who lives in Buja. She informed him that she would be coming to Lagos for a 3-day seminar and would stay at his house. Dr. Disiola warmly welcomed the idea. He went to work. When he returned from work, he found Niniola still at home. They greeted each other, and he went to his room, where he called his girlfriend Elena to let her know that Niniola was staying at his place because she had nowhere else to go. Elena understood and agreed. The next morning, Dr. Disiola's mother arrived. She was surprised to see Niniola in the house and asked, "Who are you?" Niniola introduced herself. It was clear that Dr. Disiola's mother was not happy to see her there. Later, Dr. Disiola came out and welcomed his mother warmly, also greeting Niniola. However, it was obvious that his mother did not want Niniola in the house. Niniola went to her room, and Dr. Disiola's mother asked her son, "Who is that girl?" "She's just a friend." His mother was surprised and said she didn't approve, but Disiola reassured her and tried to calm her down. Later, Disiola was speaking on the phone with his girlfriend, Elena. While they were still talking, his mother walked in and he hung up the call to speak with her. While they were conversing, Niniola came in and told Dr. Disiola that she wanted to leave. Dr. Disiola tried to stop her, knowing she had nowhere to go, but his mother said, "Let her go. She's the one who wants to leave." Seeing the tension between them, Niniola tried to leave, but suddenly she had a seizure and collapsed. Disiola's mother was shocked, and Disiola quickly gave her first aid. After some time, Niniola regained consciousness and apologized for what had happened, explaining that her condition was the reason she wanted to leave. She shared that her parents had passed away and she had been living with her aunt, but due to her illness, her aunt had kicked her out. She later lived with friends, but they too abandoned her. That's why she believed Disiola would eventually do the same, so she wanted to leave before it happened. Dr. Disiola told her he would not allow her to leave, but his mother still didn't want Niniola to stay. Not wanting to cause any more conflict, Niniola stood up and left the house. Disiola tried to hold himself back, but he couldn't. He ignored his mother's objections and went after Niniola. He found her wandering in the neighborhood with nowhere to go. He talked to her and convinced her to come back and stay until she found a place of her own. Niniola agreed, and they returned home together. Disiola's mother gave Niniola a harsh look, but Disiola told Niniola not to worry. She went to her room and silently thanked God for finally sending someone who was helping her without judging her illness. The next morning, as Disiola was getting ready for work, his mother approached him and said, "You've helped so many people, but most of them only bring you trouble." She added, "I don't like that girl, Niniola." Disiola didn't want to argue and told her she needs help and she will stay here until she finds somewhere to go. His mother said, "Fine," but warned him to be careful. Disiola agreed and both left, his mother for her trip and he for work. At work, Disiola called Elena and told her that his mother didn't want Niniola in the house. Elena sympathized and asked what he planned to do. Disiola said he was thinking of asking his colleague, Dr. Rosemary, if Niniola could stay with her. Elena agreed it was a good idea, and the conversation ended there. Later, a distressed mother arrived at the hospital, crying and begging the nurses to help her child while she went to find money to pay. The nurses refused, explaining that the hospital policy required payment before treatment. Dr. Disiola came out and asked what was going on. After the nurse explained, he told her, "Treat the child. I'll pay the bill." The mother thanked him deeply. Dr. Disiola had a kind heart and helped everyone he could. That night, when Disiola returned home, Niniola welcomed him. He noticed she had been wearing the same dress since she arrived and asked her about it. Niniola explained that she had lost her bag and only had that one dress. Disiola went to his room and brought her some of his clothes that he no longer wore. Niniola thanked him sincerely. Just then, Disiola's mother walked in and witnessed the whole exchange. Furious, she called him into a private conversation in his room. Niniola, frightened, tried to return the clothes, but Disiola told her to keep them. In the room, his mother asked why he had given Niniola his clothes. Disiola explained that she had nothing else to wear and he was only helping. His mother was displeased and asked when Niniola would leave. Disiola replied, "When she finds another place to stay." His mother said she felt no peace with Niniola in the house and declared that she was going to a 3-day conference and expected Niniola to be gone by the time she returned. Then she left. At the hospital, Elena called Disiola after hearing everything from his mother. She was worried that there might be something going on between him and Niniola. Elena complained, but Disiola reassured her. She calmed down, trusting him completely. The next day, Dr. Disiola was seen speaking with Dr. Rosemary, asking if Niniola could stay at her house. But Rosemary declined, saying they didn't know Niniola well enough. So Disiola decided Niniola would continue staying with him, regardless of what his mother thought. That evening, he returned home and had a conversation with Elena. She asked, "What will you tell your mother when she comes back and sees Niniola still here?" Disiola asked her what she personally thought about Niniola staying. Elena said she was okay with it and supported him. Grateful, Disiola told her that her opinion was all that mattered to him. The following day, Disiola's mother returned and was shocked to see Niniola still in the house. To calm her, Disiola told her that Niniola was now working for him and that he would be paying her. His mother was stunned but said nothing and walked away. Niniola, surprised, asked Disiola if what he said was true. He smiled and said, "Yes, it's true." Niniola was overjoyed and thanked him sincerely. Disiola left, leaving Niniola filled with happiness. The next day, while Disiola was at work, her ex-girlfriend, Brenda, walked in. Disiola was shocked to see her and immediately asked, "Brenda, what are you doing here?" Brenda told her that she missed her. Disiola, clearly angry, told her, "2 years ago you left me, and now you have the audacity to return." Disiola was furious and told Brenda to leave and never come back. Later that day, Disiola returned home and called Elena to tell her about Brenda's unexpected visit. Elena calmed him down. It was clear they deeply cared for each other. The following day, Disiola and Niniola went to the market. Suddenly, Niniola had a seizure and collapsed. People around were shocked, but Disiola quickly stepped in and gave her help. Meanwhile, Disiola's mother was at home waiting impatiently. Hours passed, and the two hadn't returned. When they finally arrived, his mother immediately started shouting, asking where they had been for so long. She suspected they were in a relationship. Disiola explained everything that had happened at the market and that they had gone to the hospital afterward for some tests, which caused the delay. But his mother refused to understand. Later that night, Disiola's mother went to his room and said she was leaving. Disiola asked if it was because he had allowed Niniola to stay. His mother replied that her conference was over and warned her to be careful with Niniola. Disiola agreed, and they said goodbye. The next morning, Disiola went to Niniola's room. Niniola thanked him deeply for all his help. Disiola told her he brought medicine that would help reduce the frequency of seizures. He also explained the warning signs that appear before a seizure and instructed her to call him immediately if she noticed them, since she would be home alone during the day. Niniola understood. While Disiola was at work, Brenda showed up again. Disiola took her aside to talk. Brenda wanted them to get back together, but Disiola refused. She had left him before, claiming he didn't know anything. Disiola firmly told her never to come back and walked away, leaving Brenda crying. That night, Niniola had prepared dinner for Disiola. As she went to eat in the kitchen, Disiola stopped her and told her to sit at the table and eat with him. From now on, he said, we'll eat together. Niniola agreed, served her food, and they began to eat. Disiola complimented her on how delicious the meal was. After dinner, Disiola went to the living room to watch TV and invited Niniola to join him so they could watch a movie together. As the movie played, Niniola became emotional and started crying, touched by how much Disiola cared for her. The next morning, Disiola was ready to go to work and Niniola had packed him lunch. He was very happy. Before leaving, he reminded her of the warning signs again and asked her to call him if she noticed any. Then he headed off to work. Another day, Disiola took Niniola shopping to buy her some clothes. She picked what she liked, and Disiola paid for them. It was clear Niniola had started to develop feelings for him. That evening, they shared a glass of wine while watching a movie. Niniola watched until she fell asleep on Disiola's chest. He gently carried her to her room. The next morning, Disiola had already prepared for work, and Niniola, as usual, had packed him lunch. Before leaving, he reminded her again about the signs of a seizure and to call him if they appeared. Niniola was now very happy. She felt she finally had someone who truly cared for her. At the office, Disiola was on a call with Elena when Brenda showed up again. Seeing her, he told Elena to hang up because he had something to handle. He started talking to Brenda, who still wanted him back, but Disiola rejected her, saying he had a girlfriend whom he loved very much and couldn't leave. Brenda insisted, saying he'd never find anyone like her. Disiola told her he'd appreciate it if she stopped bothering him and left. As he walked back inside, he discovered that Elena hadn't hung up and had heard everything. She was overjoyed by how Disiola stood up for their relationship. Later that night, Disiola came home for dinner, but Niniola seemed deep in thought. He asked her what was wrong, and she simply thanked him for everything. Since her parents died, she had never known such happiness. Niniola also shared that she had never celebrated her birthday because she didn't see any reason to celebrate her existence. Disiola told her, "Well, this year, we're celebrating." It turns out, Niniola's birthday was just around the corner. It would be that weekend. That night, Niniola went to bed while Disiola and his fiancée Elena talked happily. In her room, Niniola was also happy. She had fallen in love with Disiola. The next day, Disiola returned home with the clothes he had bought for Niniola to wear on her birthday. She was thrilled. When the big day came, Niniola dressed up in the outfit Disiola had bought. Disiola was amazed. She looked more beautiful than ever and complimented her sincerely. They went out to celebrate. As they chatted and enjoyed themselves, a waiter brought a birthday cake for Niniola. At the same time, Brenda and her new boyfriend showed up at the same venue, but Niniola and Disiola paid them no mind. They were too caught up in their moment of joy. Brenda saw them, and along with her boyfriend, went over to greet Disiola and Niniola. She introduced her boyfriend and mentioned that Disiola was her ex. Disiola just stood there, surprised. Brenda tried to provoke Niniola, but Niniola completely ignored her. After chatting for a while, Brenda left with her boyfriend. Disiola then apologized to Niniola for what Brenda had said, but Niniola reassured him not to worry, and they continued enjoying the moment. Suddenly, Niniola had a seizure and collapsed. Disiola quickly gave her first aid, while Brenda just stood there, recording the incident on her phone. Later, they returned home. Niniola was feeling better and apologized to Disiola, saying she felt like she had embarrassed him, but Disiola told her not to worry about it at all. The next day, Disiola went to work and received a call from his girlfriend, Elena. She told him she had seen the video of him helping Niniola at the restaurant after she had a seizure. Elena was deeply disturbed and began to worry that Niniola might steal her boyfriend, but Disiola reassured her that he loved only her and that she had nothing to worry about. That same day, Niniola was in her room when Disiola came in and said kind words to her. They were about to make love, only for it to turn out to be a dream that Niniola was having. Just as she woke up, Deciola knocked on her door. She couldn't believe her dream was about to come true. She let him in, and before he could say anything, Niniola assumed he was about to express the same feelings she had dreamed about. She hugged him and told him he didn't need to say a word. She loved him too. Deciola was shocked and told her it wasn't what she thought. He said they were just friends, and he couldn't be in a relationship with her because he already had someone he truly loved. Niniola asked if he didn't love her because of her epilepsy. Deciola replied, "If I didn't care because of your epilepsy, you wouldn't be here now." He told her not to misunderstand his kindness. He loved her as a friend. That moment, Deciola's mother walked in. She had also seen the video that had gone viral online. Finding Deciola and Niniola in the same room, she jumped to conclusions and assumed they were in a relationship. She said she had suspected something all along. Deciola calmed her down and explained it wasn't what she thought. The next day, Elena came over. Niniola greeted her politely, but Elena, as usual, mocked her. Deciola came out of the room and was happy to see his girlfriend. His mother was also very pleased to see Elena. Deciola's mother told Elena that if she wasn't careful, Niniola might steal her boyfriend. Elena brushed it off confidently, saying Niniola wasn't on her level. The two of them left together. Deciola and Niniola remained behind, surprised by everything. That night, Elena spoke with Deciola and insisted that Niniola should leave the house. But Deciola refused to even entertain the idea and went to sleep. In the morning, Deciola woke up and found Elena already up. She was still insisting that Niniola needed to leave, but Deciola didn't want to discuss the matter at all. He walked to the living room and Elena followed him. The argument continued there. Deciola's mother joined in, and she and Elena were clearly on the same side. Niniola also came out of her room. Deciola's mother was shocked that he still refused to ask Niniola to leave. Deciola told them to sit down, and he told them his biological mother had died from epilepsy. Elena was shocked. She had always thought the woman she knew was Deciola's biological mother. Deciola explained that his father had abandoned him and his mother after discovering she had epilepsy. He and his mother struggled greatly. One day, while she was cooking on a wood stove, she sent him to the shop. While he was gone, she had a seizure and fell into the fire, eventually dying from the burns. After that, his life became very difficult, and he ended up on the streets. Deciola continued, saying he suffered a lot on the streets until a nun found him and took him to an orphanage. That's where the woman they now knew as his mother adopted him and gave him a new life. His adoptive mother then spoke up, confirming that she had taken Deciola from the orphanage and raised him. She wasn't his biological mother, but she gave him everything, a home and an education. Deciola explained that when he saw Niniola struggling with the same condition as his late mother, he made up his mind to help her. Everyone was touched by the story and showed him support. Later, Elena approached Deciola and apologized. He forgave her. Niniola also came to him and apologized for misunderstanding him. She admitted that in the past, everyone who tried to help her only wanted to take advantage of her. But it wasn't like that with Deciola. She misinterpreted his kindness and was truly sorry. A few days later, Deciola proposed to Elena and gave her an engagement ring. Everyone was happy. The whole family now accepted Niniola as one of their own. Suddenly, Niniola had what appeared to have a seizure, and everyone panicked, only to find out she was just acting. And that's the end of the movie called A Love Like Mine. I am Evans, and this is Nollywood Recapped. Please subscribe for more Nigerian movie recaps.